How's it going?
Hey, what's up, man?
Not much.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Doing good. Had a few technical difficulties trying to get on here, but we're here.
Exactly. That's what matters.
Yeah.
Just gotta roll with the punches.
Yeah. Yeah, that's never happened before. Right before we're about to start recording, my Windows Explorer decides to just crash on me.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. I feel like that's something that's been happening a lot with a lot of people recently. I don't know if it's a Windows issue or just bad luck and bad timing. Because
Yeah,
like 2 weeks ago, my whole hard drive just pooped, so I lost
ooh,
everything.
that's not good. Yeah, I just got this new antivirus that does a whole bunch of cleaning up on my computer as well. And
Okay.
so my computer was really slow. So I went ahead and I deleted probably 500 gigabytes worth of stuff.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a bit.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if that's what did it. But yeah, I did all that like 4 days ago. So I don't know why it'll start acting up now.
Technology is great when it works, an
Yeah.
absolute nightmare when it doesn't.
Yeah. All right. So thank you for coming on the podcast. Go ahead and let everybody know who you are.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I super
No problem.
appreciate that. So I am Trevor. Most people know me as Trevaless. I run the YouTube channel Trevaless Tales. I've been doing this for about just under 10 years now.
Wow.
Wish it was could say that it's the 10-year mark, but that's I gotta wait till December for that milestone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just honestly, people, show up and they ask like, "Who are you? Like, what are you doing?" It's just, in reality, I'm just a normal person, just sitting behind a desk doing something that he loves to do. Just a,
That's good.
and you, I mean, you can see, not necessarily see, but like, if you go to any of my profiles and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
they say exactly what my message is, right? So I'm just a small town dude looking to make a difference in this crazy world.
Well, that's good. I notice on Twitter you're always posting some motivational videos.
Oh, you've seen those? Oh, I'm
Yeah.
embarrassed now.
Yeah, what is it? Fun Friday? I forgot what you call it.
Fantastic Friday is
Fantastic
typically.
Friday?
I try to do something like that. Motivational Monday, if I
Mm-hmm.
remember. if I don't have 100 other things going on.
Yeah. So you've been doing YouTube almost 10 years. December will be 10 years. Uh, what platform did you start on for, like, was it Roblox? Was it anything else?
Yeah. So we're going way back already.
Yeah. Gotta start at the beginning.
Yes. So I started with. It was fun fact enough. It was Minecraft. Minecraft way back in the day, and it wasn't for content purposes only. It was for reporting hackers on like Mineplex and like these these servers for mini games. So I just started posting those, and one day I didn't realize I wasn't setting stuff to unlisted or private or whatever it was that you can share the link with.
Mm-hmm.
And they started getting views, and people were commenting like, "Oh, oh, that's cool. Like you're finding these hackers and stuff." And it's like, well, I mean, I just want to have fun and play the game. I don't want them ruining my game. And that kind of turned into about what 6 months later? Not even. It was March of 2016. I booted
Mm-hmm.
up my first live stream and I started doing a game called Astroneer with some
Oh, I
people that
like
I
that
had
game.
met on the. You do? Do
Mm-hmm.
you? Nice. I haven't touched it in quite some time. Every time I make plans to do something, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, let's do this," and then everybody's got lives. So started up on that game. I did that a couple live streams of that, and then I was always in this mentality about 10 years because 10 years ago I would have been 16,
Mm-hmm.
16 going on 17. Well, no, it had been 17 at that time. Um, so all my friends were like, "Hey, like Roblox." Like I was talking about Roblox, and they're like, "Oh, dude, that's a kids game." And I'm like, "It could be for anybody. Come on now." And then I started playing games like Natural Disaster Survival and Murder Mystery 2, and I was really enjoying those. And well, they started grabbing an audience, and
Mhm.
it just kind of went on from there as kind of variety between Minecraft and Roblox, because those were what were performing good back then.
Yeah. And what's funny is every time I'm talking to a YouTuber on the podcast, everybody, literally everybody, including myself, started on Minecraft.
I think it was just a good starting ground. I mean, how can you not like Minecraft?
Well, for me, let me correct that. For me, I started on RuneScape.
Okay.
RuneScape is where I started YouTube, but that was just posting for fun. But
Yeah.
when I actually started getting a little bit serious with YouTube was Minecraft.
Okay.
And so Notch, he not only did he create possibly one of the greatest games ever. Sorry that Microsoft ruined it, but
Hey, I 100% agree with you there. Don't let Microsoft touch what is already perfect, you know?
yeah, yeah, they really ruined that game in my opinion. But he not only did he create one of the greatest games ever, he also created a platform that's started thousands of careers, if not millions, because
Oh, 100%.
there's also the builders, there's the people that, they make the servers, there's the employees for those servers. They just he made a game that was amazing and started like endless jobs.
Yeah. I know people personally that work for companies that build maps and do mods.
Mm-hmm.
That's you're 100% on the money with that one.
Yeah. And I wonder if he realizes that.
That's a great question, honestly. Notch on the podcast when?
Oh, I would love to have that. I would love to have Notch on the podcast. That would be awesome.
That would be.
You know, I would really like to know how he feels now after
Yeah.
selling it to Microsoft. I think he sold it for almost $2 billion.
Was it really that big of a transaction?
Yeah, it was,
Holy.
but look at how much Minecraft has made since then.
Oh,
So
for sure. Yeah.
yeah, he would have made more than that by now if he
Oh,
never
I'm
sold it.
sure.
And
I guess the question. Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I guess the question that comes to my mind is why did he sell it, right? So
Hmm.
did he sell it for monetary gain? Because in the short term, or was he just not enjoying it anymore?
Well,
Burnt out.
I read an article where they were talking about how he has fallen into a depression after selling it. And
Really?
yeah, it makes sense because, those were years of his life struggling to pay the bills in order to get this game out. Because, like I've said in previous episodes, I was one of the first 1,000 people to purchase the game. And I remember him talking one day saying, I don't got money to pay for the electric bill. And so people started donating money to him. And
Really?
yeah, a lot of pain and suffering going through the development of that game. So many sacrifices. And then you finally get it to where it is. And it's a huge hit. Millions of people playing it, millions of people love it. And then you go and sell it and you get $2 billion, but you no longer have your creation.
Right.
So it
Yeah.
makes sense
I mean,
why he would fall into a depression over that.
oh, for sure. Yeah, I guess I never looked at it from that perspective, but yeah, you give up something that you put your blood, sweat, and tears into, and just to sell it for money is
You just gotta wipe the tears
Yeah.
away with those crisp $100 bills. Crying in his Lamborghini.
Right. His garage full of Lamborghini.
Yeah. At least that's what I would do. So,
Yeah.
Astroneer, you played Astroneer for a bit. When did Roblox start? Like how many years ago?
Roblox started, we're looking just into 2016, I think. February to April-ish, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
I can actually tell you. I should be able to look at my profile here.
And you're also one of the oldest Pet Sim partners, correct?
I think so. I mean, I was in one of those first like OG waves back in Pet Sim, the original one. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've been around a while.
Yeah, and a lot of people I see it all the time. They're like, "Oh, when did you get partner?" And it's like, well, for a while ago, I'm kind of the quiet third person in the back. Like I kind of like if drama appears, like I'm going the opposite way.
Yeah.
Like I hate to be that like not confrontational.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the word I'm looking for. Uh,
You don't involve in the drama.
yeah, I don't like to go into that drama bubble, and it's everybody. That's the thing, right? So everybody has their own opinion and is entitled to their own opinion,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the fact that a lot of people nowadays they don't care how that makes other people feel,
Yeah.
and I don't want to be that person that makes it worse. I would rather go off and do my own thing, and if the group of people that doesn't want to involve themselves in the drama want to come over here and we can just hang out and chill and just have a good time, I'm all about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember one time there was a oh, I'm actually thinking of SVB Richie. There was drama
Yes.
going on Twitter, and he went and put his 2 cents in, and everybody was like, "Richie, get out!"
Really?
Yeah, everybody's telling him, "Don't involve. We don't want to see anybody attacking you."
Right, exactly.
Yeah, for a second there, I thought it was you that did that.
Oh, yeah, no, not me. um, I'll post something here and there that's like not I don't. I'm messing up my words. I'm tripping over my tongue here. Um, that might have conflicting opinions on it.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily all the time, but unless it involves me directly. There was a few things like that with on Twitter in the last year, like using spicy words and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, it's been good. I enjoy the whole leave out the drama, leave out the confrontation, because in the end of the day, it's two sides of the same coin,
Yeah.
and either you're gonna get hate for it or you're gonna get approval for it, and I mean you're gonna get both regardless.
Yeah. And with Twitter, it always seems like it's a attention thing. It
Oh,
doesn't
for
even
sure.
it doesn't even seem like they really want to get into drama. They just want the attention from the drama.
Yeah, a lot of that clout chase.
Yeah, I don't involve in drama. I avoid it at all times. Whenever people bring drama to me, I just ignore them, or like I've said before, fight negativity with positivity. If they want to start drama with you, just do something positive towards them, and they'll see they're not affecting you at all and leave you alone.
Yeah, because I mean, and that's what I tell a lot of people. Because I'll have people come to me and they're like, "Hey, like, appreciate the live streams, appreciate the videos. Like, it helps me take my mind off of stuff."
Hmm.
And they'll talk about them potentially getting bullied or like things that go on. And in reality, people are just looking for your reaction
Hmm.
most of the time. And if you don't give them that reaction, eventually they quit for the most part.
Yeah.
They don't get that attention, they don't get that reaction. There's no reason for them to keep doing that per se.
Hmm. And it's just crazy the amount of people that do it. Really
Oh, for
is.
sure. Yeah, it's like you said. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't even. There's such a just a deep rabbit hole I could go into, but I'm gonna try to avoid it and stay on the positive train. But yeah, it's there is so much negativity in the world, and as somebody that has gone through a lot in
Hmm.
the last like 15 years specifically, um, it doesn't matter how dark that cave is or how deep in that hole that you are. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel,
Yeah.
and if you think that you've hit rock bottom, there's no place to go but up.
Hmm.
That's that's just how I look at it, and I like to look at it.
Yeah. No, it's very true. Very true. I've been there, and I never thought I'd get out, but I did. And here I am. I'm happy. I'm doing the things I love to do. And it's just, you got to go through some pain to get some, what's the word? The pain makes you stronger.
Yeah,
That's what a lot of people say. Pain is just weakness leaving your body so you could be stronger for the future.
that's a great way to look at it.
Yeah.
Um, the way that I was told when I was back in physical therapy was the pain doesn't stop until you learn the lesson it's trying to teach.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, whether that's overcoming your weaknesses or, setting boundaries to live a healthier lifestyle, and to me, it works.
So, if you're comfortable with talking about it, I've seen a lot of stuff regarding your health on Twitter. So what's going on if you're okay with talking about it?
Yeah, no, 100%. I used to be super self-conscious about it, especially back in school.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's also was a lot to do with like people thinking that, oh, you have a disease, you have like things, I'm gonna get this kind of thing, when in reality it's just me having a broken body.
Mm-hmm.
um, so let's turn back the clock a little bit and go way back, even let's see, 5, 6 years even before YouTube.
Wow.
So we're looking at like 10, 11.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Woke up one day and thought that I was having growing pains and stuff, and well, that was not the case, in fact. And these pains within my joints started getting worse and worse. And we went doctor to doctor for probably 6, 8 months as this like progressively got worse, and I progressively started to get like more and more stiff, more and more pain every day. And
Mm-hmm.
obviously, you can't just keep chewing. Not well, you're not even supposed to chew, but like, you can't just keep taking, over the counter medicine.
Mm-hmm.
That's not great for you.
Yeah.
um, but that's what was getting me through. So essentially, like almost a year later down the line, we're at Mayo Clinic in Minnesota, and I was diagnosed with a childhood form of arthritis.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they call it JIA. It's had many like names over the years, but essentially it just stands for juvenile. We don't know why idiopathic arthritis. So there's no cure for it. There are treatments that can help make things better, and kind of suppress it.
Mm-hmm.
But as of right now, there's nothing. There's no definitive answer saying like you have X, Y, and Z, and this is what's causing it. It just happens apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the only person in the family that we know of that's around that has it. So that's a little kind of makes you feel out of the out of the box of sorts.
Yeah. That's
Um,
crazy. So since 10, 11 years old?
yeah,
Wow. So,
yep.
and you're how old right now?
26 going on 27.
Wow. So almost 17 years going through this.
Yes, sir.
So is that why you have the pictures of having you go for like some type of treatment, like taking blood or something?
Yes, sir. Back way back then, they had found a medication. It was an injectable. It
Hmm.
was once or twice a week, and let me tell you, who doesn't like needles?
I'm the
So
same way.
yeah, so I was not a big fan of that, but it also allowed my body to function again.
Hmm.
Um, Essentially, what these medications or biologics do is they suppress your immune system,
Okay.
so that they're how do I this is kind of a roundabout way. Um, the best way to describe it for anybody that doesn't like know medically wise, right, is you have an immune system. It's like your army
Hmm.
against like foreign invaders, bacteria, and stuff.
Hmm.
Um, my body thinks that like the tissue within my joints is bad bacteria, and it attacks it, and it
Ooh.
causes inflammation and damage within my joints. That medication essentially it makes my immune system dumb. And so it goes, hey, these are actually our friends, not foreign invaders. But then it also means I got to be more careful about actually getting sick
Yeah.
because, yeah, they're not as on guard and as alert as somebody with a normal immune system that doesn't have a dumbed down one or that attacks itself.
Yeah. So pretty much it stops the friendly fire, but leaves the gates open.
Correct. That is exactly correct.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So found a medication and I was on that for like 2, 3 years until my freshman year in high school. Which, fun fact enough, that was I actually got to play basketball on the team and stuff. That
Hmm.
was probably a highlight of my school like sports career.
Hmm.
Uh, but between that time, so then in those 3 years, I went into remission, meaning that I was off of all medications, and it's something that can happen. Um, but it's like a 50-50 chance of it coming back later in life. And I went through my whole freshman year not having any issues. And actually, that was eighth grade year. I'm sorry. And then when I got to my freshman year, like 3 weeks in, my knee started blowing up. And we're like, what's going on? Like, they told me we were in remission. Like, we were, doing all the tests and stuff to make sure that, the markers aren't changing. Well, something triggered it to come back. So that ended my sports career.
So what were you doing different at that time? Different diet,
Honestly,
exercising?
I don't think that there was anything different. Nothing that I can pick out indefinitely and say I did this that caused that kind of thing.
Hmm.
Um, because there was a couple more times over the years where I also went back into remission, but for shorter periods of time.
Hmm.
And I would just I would stub my toe, and then my toe would swell up, and it would just, it was like it would start a chain reaction. So wasn't great.
I
uh,
can't even imagine. I can't.
yeah. So like 2020, right around like the COVID era, we hit. Out of high school. I was working in a machine shop, doing some stuff, and like my health just kept like declining, and even though I was on the same medication,
Yeah.
and I was like, what's going on? Like I'd get up in the morning, I would have to throw up, and then I would just lay on the bathroom floor for like 6 hours, and I'd have to call my sister or somebody and be like, hey, you gotta call my boss. Like I can't even move. It just
That's
felt like I
crazy.
got hit by a freight train.
That's crazy.
And yeah, so I was lucky enough to have a really understanding boss at the time
Yeah.
that understood the medical issues and stuff. And, obviously if I could make it in, I could make it in. And he was still willing to pay me and, give me the work. And then it was also very accommodating with like being able to sit down when I wasn't feeling well and just a whole bunch of stuff. That was probably one of the nicest and most accommodating jobs that I ever had.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah. Not a lot of
comes
people would be as understanding nowadays.
Oh no, for sure not. So then after that, started going and seeing my doctor again, which finding a rheumatologist in Wisconsin is an absolute pain, by the
Hmm.
way. Because either they don't stay around, or they're overbooked because there's so many people that have, because they take care of so many different problems,
Yeah.
that you can't get in. So I've been bounced between like 10 different doctors in the last probably like 6 years. And every time you get a new doctor, they want to start over
Yep.
because they want to relearn about you. And I get that, right? But it's
Hmm.
like, if something's working, don't change it and break it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
They want to learn about it and see if they could find a different way to fix it.
yeah. So got bounced around a couple more doctors, and then I've been with this one for the last like 4 years, 5 years now.
Hmm.
And essentially, what had happened was the medication that I was on for 14 years, because of bouncing between all these other doctors, they would change the frequency at which I got it. They would, um, let's see, how was that? Essentially, what had happened was my body had developed antibodies against the medication, so that it wasn't dumbing down my immune system anymore and
Wow.
blocking out the inflammatory cells.
Yeah, it became
So
used to it.
yes, exactly. So instead of that medication lasting me a week until I got my next round of meds, it was only lasting like 3 days. And
Wow.
then from like, I'd have the injection, I'd sleep, I'd feel good for 2 days, and then it was just this rapid decline back to like, by the end of the week I hurt so bad where it was like, you're telling me that I can't have this any sooner than now, because like this is painful.
Hmm.
Um, we so basically when that happened, um, he started changing and trying different medications with me, between injectables and just daily like pills and things like that. It was a lot.
Yeah.
And honestly, it was probably one of the deepest, darkest moments in my life, because they thought they necrosed my hip with steroids. Essentially, they thought that they killed my hip bone and they were going to have to do a hip replacement. Um, Ended up with doing a surgery on my knee to remove all the toughened and hardened tissue from all the damage over the years. And for probably like 8 to 12 months, from in like what, 2022, 2023, yeah, like 2022 to 2023 ish area.
Hmm.
um I went from like just doing like my normal daily stuff and to being on crutches before I even uh, had the surgery, because I couldn't put any weight on my right leg.
And this
And
was without any injury.
this was no injury. Nope.
Wow.
The worst injury that I've had, quote unquote self inflicted, technically,
Hmm.
was like, I was playing basketball and I sprained my ankle like 20 years ago. So I've been very careful not to, you know,
Yeah,
tweak or
understandable.
injure anything.
So now, does this fall under like a core morbidity?
Um, I mean, I would think so. I guess I don't necessarily know what you mean by core mobility.
So it's diseases that affect the lifespan.
No, they said with proper treatment and stuff that I should be able to live about the same lifespan, timeline. It's
Hmm.
just more like quality of life kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whether it's going to be more difficult or more comfortable.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, thankfully.
I know a lot of people with comorbidities, usually like diabetes, being overweight.
Okay.
They're more susceptible That's actually one word I have never said before in my life, and I just tried saying it for the first time, and I couldn't pronounce it. I'm not even going to try. You already know what word I'm trying to say.
You're trying to say susceptible.
Yeah, I have never said that word in my life, and I'm over here trying to sound smart.
Hey, that's how I felt with that one set of eggs that we just had not too long ago. The Matryoshka eggs. It took me. I can't tell you how many hours it took me of practicing that before I was like, all right, I think I can finally say this on video without looking stupid.
Matryoshka. I could
Is
say that
am I
perfectly
still
fine.
not pronouncing it right?
You gotta say it somewhat with a Russian accent for it to come out properly.
Gotcha. Okay.
Matryoshka. But
Mitrashka.
what I was saying is that they were more prone to being affected horribly by COVID.
Yes.
I used to drive concrete mixers. A lot of people know them as cement trucks. They're not really cement trucks. They're concrete mixers.
Yep.
Cement trucks are semi trucks that pull a giant tanker full of cement. Cement is an ingredient in concrete.
Okay.
So
Hey, the more you know.
yeah. So just so everybody knows, they're not called cement trucks. They're called concrete mixers.
Definitely didn't just disconnect. I'll fix that. Keep going.
So I used to drive concrete mixers, and there was this one guy. He drove the cement truck, and he was very overweight. He had diabetes. He had a whole bunch of other things. And I remember him posting for the last time on Facebook saying he was in the hospital and that COVID's not good. And then sadly he passed away after. And
Sorry to hear that.
yeah, he was a good dude. His wife passed away from cancer, so he was taking care of his stepdaughter. So he stuck around to take care of his stepdaughter. He was a good dude.
Yeah.
But I know, like, because I was thinking while you were talking about it, I'm like, man, I wonder how like COVID was for you, like during that time. I wonder how, like, if you were scared
Oh,
because
for sure. Yeah.
your immune system is not working the way it's supposed to because of your medication. So the door is wide open. Anything could get in.
Yeah.
There's that movie Bubble Boy. You ever see Bubble Boy?
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it. I am slacking on watching movies, if I'm being completely honest with you.
Yeah, Bubble Boy is an old movie. I think came out in the early 2000s, and I don't remember the story. I haven't seen it since I was a kid, but I'm assuming he had some sort of disease and like was very prone to sickness, and he would have to go outside in a bubble. And like if I was in a position like yours where I have something where my immune system is completely open, I'd probably go outside in a bubble.
Hey, I mean, that's an option. I'm glad that it's not that severe.
Yeah.
That I mean, I do still take precautions and stuff. Obviously, washing my hands. I do a lot of hand sanitizer and things like that.
Yeah.
But it's not a. I know there's a lot of people that have just fully open gates for their immune systems and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and they're definitely a lot more susceptible of like they just walk outside sometimes and they come down with whatever was floating in the air. Mine isn't. Mine's suppressed, but it's not gone. So still got to be careful with it, but not necessarily to the point of like bubble.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
Yeah, that's good because
Yeah.
once you told me that it pretty much makes your immune system sleepy, I'm just like, oh man.
Yeah. It's not great.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Um, so how is life with it now?
Life with it now, it's getting better than where I was about a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of rolling back a little bit again. Went from crutches to basically bedridden for like 8 to 12 months.
Ooh,
To the point where like I couldn't roll over in bed to reach the bottle of like pain relievers.
wow.
So I would just like lay there, and my family would come home, and I'd just be in tears. And they're like, "Why didn't you call us?" I was like, I couldn't reach that to get any relief, let alone my phone that's like, right next to it. So
Wow.
it's just kind of how it was, and it was probably one of the darkest moments of my life. But that's where I kind of get that mentality of like, it doesn't matter how deep and dark it gets. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. You just got to keep pushing for it.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
so
great
now
that you
we
have that
found
mentality.
yes, and it's kind of a must at that point, right?
Yeah.
Um, so now we found another medication. It's infusion. So now instead of having medication injected into my leg or whatever for like once, twice a week, now this medication works a lot better. I'm able to definitely do a lot more now. I'm still strengthening stuff because within that like 12-month period, I lost my whole quad in my right leg
Hmm.
and basically couldn't support myself at all on it. But did the whole like rehab and stuff where we went from like normal physical therapy to pool and stuff like that. So just growing stronger and obviously keeping up with stretching out and kind of watching and not eating just garbage all the time. That
Hmm.
also helps a bit. Um, but yeah, so now it's infusions and I get those. We were doing every 8 weeks for the first year, and now we're looking at every 6 weeks. So I think that's going to do better in the long term, and I think that's where we'll probably stick with for until it stops working. Hopefully that's not going to happen this time, but who knows?
What about stem cells?
I don't know much about the whole stem cell stuff, and I'm not gonna lie, the doctors that I see, they are very one-minded. It's kind of their way or the highway,
Hmm.
and well, stuff's not cheap. So
Yeah.
being able to go like out of state and see other professionals and things along those lines aren't necessarily an option at this point.
I think you should try
So
it. I think you should
you
try
think so?
it. Set up a GoFundMe. I'll donate to it. Set up a GoFundMe. And go get some stem cells. I think stem cells should help you. And also, I know out of personal experience, there's way better ways to control your health than medication. Like me personally, I never take medication.
Yeah.
Unless I got a killer headache, then I'll take some ibuprofen.
Yep.
But other than that, no medication, nothing, completely all natural, everything. And, your body runs on fuel. And the type of fuel you give your body is how it's going to respond. So me
Correct.
personally, like I've said multiple times in the podcast, is I'm on a carnivore diet, been on it for the past 2 years. So I only eat animal products, completely
Yep.
carnivore. No salt and pepper is the only seasoning I use.
Okay.
And I have noticed a huge, huge difference in my body health wise. And
Okay.
there's I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm pretty sure it's Eugamus on Twitter.
Yes. Yep.
He has something going on as well. And he told me the name. I don't remember. I talked to him about it months ago. And I looked up online and I was like, can the carnivore diet help him with this? And so many people who have the same exact thing he has went on the carnivore diet and got off all medication, got off of everything simply just by changing the way they eat.
Yes.
And so I hit him up. I'm like, hey, listen, so many people are having success stories with the carnivore diet. Give it a try. Try it for a month. Just eat meat
Yep.
for a month and you'll probably start feeling better. He never gave it a try, but I hope he
Yeah.
does. I hope he's listening and he gives it a try. So many people have success stories over it. And who
Oh,
knows,
for sure.
maybe that's something you could do. Maybe if you try the carnivore diet for a month and it might help you out health wise.
So it's actually funny that you say that because during the whole time of like trying to find a medication that worked,
Hmm.
was also like major dietary changes too. So 1 month it was no animal products, no red meat, no it was like salad, fruits, vegetables, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
I felt a little bit better overall health wise,
Mm-hmm.
but nothing that like really stood out. And then another month, I went and did like the whole uh, steak and pork and chicken and the like you said, kind of like more carnivore, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and not mixing in like because at that point too, I basically gave up all soda as well,
Mm-hmm.
and now I drink like 40 to 80 bottles of water a week, uh, which is also funny. And because question is how did I end up with a kidney stone a couple of weeks ago? Then, uh, so definitely dietary changes have helped, but
Mm-hmm.
nothing specifically has done anything to like suppress the immune system enough or change how it's working
Mm-hmm.
to like bring me back out of the whole of the pain and being able to like function normally,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately.
And what about
um
vitamins?
so I take vitamins on a daily basis, supplements. I also do um I went to, let's see, how many different doctors. I did like naturopath doctors and stuff. Also within that time frame.
Mm-hmm.
But I was taking different herbs. I was taking different vitamins. The amount of different things. If I could go back and have a specific list, your jaw would probably hit the floor. It was anything and everything that my family could do to give me any sort of relief. And
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I don't know where I would be right now without them.
Yeah. Yeah, family's always there.
Yeah.
Yeah, my desk, the left side of my desk is all vitamins. I have a bunch of different vitamins I take every day.
Yeah.
And one of the most important vitamins you need to take is the vitamin D,
Mm-hmm.
and that helps with the immune system.
Yes, sir. Um, yes. Actually, it's funny right here. I take 5,000 IU's of vitamin D mixed with the K2
Hmm.
in coconut oil. So,
Well, I hope they're able to find something better for you, and you could live a, I don't want to say like live a normal life, but live a life without the pain, without
exactly. I
without
appreciate that.
without just everything that's going on. I feel for you. I can't imagine it.
Yeah, and that's the thing because people don't necessarily see it. So I'm actually super glad that you brought it up. Because a lot of people don't get to see that side. Like, yeah, I might post stuff on Twitter, and I might do like little talks here and there about like, hey, I'm going to get medicine, I'm going to do this, or like insurance is being butt again, kind of stuff like that. But
Hmm.
in the end, people don't necessarily always see what's going on in the background. They just see that front. Not it's not really a front, but like they just see you as an internet personality
Yeah.
and somebody that has a lot of stuff in game. Um, and in reality, it's like that's just my coping mechanism. It keeps my mind off of things, so I don't think about it. So live streams, videos, they're as much as they're an escape for some other people to get out of like their own normal lives and stuff. They're also an
Yeah.
escape for me, uh, to be able to just sit down and focus on something else without having to worry about like, oh, how many times I got to call insurance this week? How many times do I gonna have
Hmm.
to set up this appointment or that appointment? And it's just it's a lot.
Yeah. No, I completely understand. Like, if there's anything going on in my life, my first go-to is video games. Like something that will take my entire focus. And like Pet Simulator won't do it for me.
Oh
Not
no,
Pet Simulator. No,
no,
it's got to be Call of Duty. It's got to be Apex Legends. It's got to be some kind of survival game. It's got to be something where I'm just constantly thinking about, okay, what's next? What's next? And
exactly.
a lot of people, I see videos all the time. A lot of people make these little skits where the girlfriend or wife is upset that her husband gets home and goes and plays video games. And
Oh
then
yeah,
there's
I've
that,
seen these.
and then there's the whole message about how you don't know what he just went through at work today. This is his moment of peace. Let him have it. He needs it. It's good for him.
Yeah.
And it's true. A lot
Oh,
of
so very true. I mean, until a couple of years ago, even my family wasn't on board with the whole like video games and YouTube stuff, and they never
mhm,
understood it until I'm also not a person to like share their feelings a lot.
mhm.
So it's very seldom that you'll get like, you know, deep dark like, oh, like you can definitely tell like Trev's on the verge of just absolutely letting tears fly. um yeah, I bottle a lot of things. I don't like
Mhm.
to make my burden other people's burden.
Yeah.
And so I just, like I said, I just kind of bottle until I end up in a gas station parking lot at 3 in the morning eating a grilled cheese sandwich.
I think it's a very man thing.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure there's females out there that do it as well, but a lot of men will just bottle it up, just keep it in there, put it away, don't think about it, put on your happy face.
yeah,
And I've had those moments, and it's great. Like with my wife, if I'm going through something, I'll talk to her about it, and that helps. Talking helps.
yeah. It's definitely nice to have people around to be able to talk to,
Mm.
but it also like until just a few years ago too. I had no idea like the pet sim adult community existed. I was never brought into that fold until like a year and a half ago, like probably like 6 months
PSX.
before X ended.
Mm.
um, and honestly, it's been super nice getting to know like people that are older and more mature and have similar. I don't want to say issues, but like they've experienced more and they're willing to share their experiences.
Yeah, everybody has their own story.
Exactly.
And
And
it's
it's just been
crazy how
nice.
many adults are here.
Oh, for sure. Like I went from, streaming to, 30, 40, 50 um kids that just spam the chat like give me stuff to like having actual intelligent conversations about like strategies and um well, if I'm being honest, how to dig a hole in your backyard. That was one of them recently. But
Pretty sure you gotta call 211 before you do that.
you got a what?
You gotta call 211 before you do that.
Probably, yeah. uh yeah, so I mean the community is great and I'm definitely thoroughly enjoying myself more than where I was
Mm-hmm.
about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Because back then, like it was for the most part about the games and having fun and doing that and creating the content to potentially, make a difference one day.
Mm-hmm.
And now for it to also come full circle and now be more of that escape and also like sympathizing more with people and um, having built more of this community that's you could message at 3 in the morning and somebody is gonna message back. It's something I take a lot of pride in.
Yeah. Yeah, this the community is great. It has its flaws, but overall just good people all around.
Yeah,
Um Something I did want to bring up, you know,
yeah.
um you hatched a very rare pet recently.
Oh, I did.
You did.
You're talking
Is there more than one?
this. Uh, are you talking about this little guy?
No.
Oh, not that little guy.
No. You hatched
Oh,
that too?
I did. This was my second luckiest hatch ever. This was actually my first Titanic I've ever hatched outside of plushies. Oh, you're talking about this one.
I don't have pets on if you.
Oh, this one.
Yes, that is exactly the one I'm talking about.
Yes.
And that's the only one in the game?
This is the only one that exists in the game.
What's the craziest offer you got for it?
What if I told you that I've got a secret and I already sold it?
You did?
I did.
Oh no.
Yes.
What did you get for it?
I got a whole bunch of stuff. So I had a bunch of video ideas, and I was gonna have like a video come out like the biggest trade in pet sim history kind of thing. Remember at the beginning of the pod when I said my hard drive crashed and I lost everything?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I lost it all. So I have been fortunate enough to be in very good standings with said person. Know them not a lot, but through a lot of people and friends. So that I was able to bring Rainbow Gargi to the pod.
That's awesome.
Yes, I'm super appreciative of the, ability to be able to do that. But yes, I did in fact sell her. I did sell my baby, and
Roughly in billion wise, how much?
we're looking at like almost 700 billion. Yeah, so within the first 3 minutes of me hatching it, I had 7 to 10 leaderboard players join me immediately and asked if I wanted to sell it. And I was like, no. And then I went to our resident trader and connoisseur of being able to source anything. If you know who I'm talking about.
Bat Tech?
We're talking about Bat. And I was like, Bat, I have a plan. This is what I want to do. I want this gargantuan to go to somebody that is going to fully appreciate and fully enjoy as much as I do. This is so I've been a partner for 6 years now, 7 years, something like that. This is my first big pull.
Yeah.
This is the craziest pull I've ever pulled. And eventually one day down the road, I do have a plan to find some things that the person that I traded it to, I don't want to put their name out there just for obvious reasons. But the person that I traded it to, I have plans in works to get them their dream pets in return for holding on to the gargantuan and just being an overall genuine and great person and helping me accomplish these goals to be able to make bigger and better videos, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, that 700 billion will definitely do it.
Yeah, so just to give a little example, and you've seen it already. Where is it here? Let me turn that one off, and I'll put this one on. This is one that I got in the trade for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the Rainbow Silver Dragon was one of the pets. I think it was valued around 180 to 200 billion, somewhere in that range. Plus a lot of other rainbow shinies that I had bat sourced out for a plan that I'm working on. Basically, I had them break them down into more of a manageable team and not putting all my eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Kind of like I am with all these agonies.
Yes, and that's I'm actually super jealous of your agony collection. They are some of the coolest things that I know of.
Thank you.
Also, I did want to show you something.
Sure.
Uh, do you remember this one?
Oh man, that was part of the deal.
No, this wasn't part of the deal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I traded the Rainbow Gargantuan probably uh like a week after it came out.
Mm-hmm.
Or after I hatched it, of course. Do I regret it? Yeah, for sure. I was so my thought was, all right, I'm gonna get beamed for this. um, Somebody's gonna do something, and I'm gonna lose it all.
Yeah.
Where I kind of wanted to be more diverse about it,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously, Bat always works Bat's magic,
Yeah.
and had it just made it work and happen. And I think that the consensus was if somebody were to pull another Rainbow Gargantuan, googly, it would have probably went down to like 200 billion in value or 300, somewhere right in there. It would have been basically halved.
I say probably 450 around.
450?
Yeah.
Still. I mean, but to get, that much and then, lose, it was kind of a panic.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get beamed. I wanted to be able to set up plans to be able to do videos and a whole bunch of other stuff, and it kind of worked. There have been many a nights where I've cried. But I'm in talks with whoever bought it, and I've been told that I can come freely see it. Sorry, I get really sentimental. You can ask a lot of people. My inventory is where pets come to never leave.
Yeah.
I hoard everything.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Not
how
until
I am with agonies.
Yes. So not until recently. I don't know if you know Jess or she's one of the old moderator, ex-moderator for big games.
There's a lot of Jesses.
Alive in 2020.
Yes, I know Alive.
Yes. So she's been working with me a lot over the last like 6-8 months to let go of some things and allowing me to see a whole nother side of Pet Sim where I can not just hoard everything and open stuff, but to take those into the plaza, because plaza scares the crap out of me, if I'm being completely honest with you. And turn it into more of an enjoyable experience in said like trading wise, right? So I've been working on that.
I can relate to that. I was the biggest hoard of shiny huge anime agonies. I had 12 out of 46. And I wanted to get all of them. Back in PSX, I thought I owned all of them. And I even got an offer of over one Titanic each before PS99 came out. I chose not to. Oh, you got the shiny rainbow?
Again, not mine.
Oh, okay.
I just thought it would be fun to come back full. I'm tripping over my tongue now. Kind of full circle from like when we first talked.
Yeah.
I figured I'd give you the opportunity to sign back over it.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I thought it'd make for a good bit.
For those that don't know what happened, I signed that octopus, and then probably not even an hour later, he signs over it.
I was like, I messaged Bat and I was like, hey, I want to do something really funny. He's like, dude, if you do this, you have to post about it. And I was like, okay.
And then I was like, is he coming at me?
I invite him on the podcast and he starts doing this. I was like, no, I promise it's all in good fun.
But I owned 12 out of 46, and then I got an offer for over a Titanic each back in PSX. I didn't accept it because I'm like, I own all of them. I could,
Right.
I don't want to get rid of them. And then PSX or PS99 comes out, and then right off the bat, I think it was like 25 exist, and I'm like, oh, I
Really?
regret not selling them. And then more
Yeah.
kept popping in, more kept popping in. I think it's at 47 now.
Holy
And
cow.
yeah, so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to start buying them all up in PS99, and I was missing out on so many different pets. I was just focused completely on getting shiny, huge anime agonies, and I don't even like the anime agony.
Yeah.
And then one day, I tell Bat, I'm like, Bat, I want to get rid of every single one except for one, and I want to start collecting all of the agonies again. I don't want to
Yes.
focus on just anime. And ever since then, like I felt like chains were broken off, and I was free. And now my collection is just like, I would say probably the best agony collection in the entire game.
Oh, for sure. I don't deny that. I 100% think that you have the best one as far as I'm publicly aware of.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's crazy. There is one though, if you're willing to accept a trade. I don't know if you have this one. Uh, do you have this one by chance?
I do.
I thought I was gonna be special and bring in something you didn't have. This was the first shiny huge that I ever hatched. And that was back in PSX.
Oh wow. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
never able to hatch the wildfire, not even a normal.
Did you get to index this one?
Not yet.
Would you like to?
I would absolutely love to. I would have to message my wife to join so she could index it too.
That's hey, if she wants to, 100%, go ahead.
Thank you. I might get a little bit of payback now.
I was gonna say, just that will hunt you down if you don't give it back, because that's not mine.
Oh, I'm not gonna steal it. I'm gonna
I
do
know.
something else to
I'm
it.
just, I'm just being funny.
I'm doing something else to it.
Oh no! I know exactly what's happening.
Yep, I got my payback finally.
uh, I had a feeling that's where that was about to go.
Alright, I sent my wife a text so she could join me.
Okay, sounds good.
But yeah, this is an insane pet, and it says number one, it's your name. It's no longer signed by you though. I want to write
Dang, I
it.
just used all my signatures last night too. No, I'm just kidding.
It's stuck like this forever.
Forever. Yeah, I send it back to the new owner. They're just like, hey, what? Hey, whoa, whoa.
This thing is so big I can't click on it. There we go.
Right? Here, I'll write on it too.
You know,
It's
it's the ugliest agony. I
love it just because of how ugly it is.
it was a smack in the face when, because I heard gargantuan agony. I'm like, oh my god, yes, I need it. And then I see this, and I'm like, is this a joke? Is Big Games playing a prank on me or something?
Right?
Like,
Brings out a gargantuan, and it's ugly. An
it is
agony
the
of sorts.
ugliest thing. It is the ugliest thing. Like like the corrupt agony. The correct
Yeah.
agony is a masterpiece. I hate the wings, but the rest is a masterpiece. If they would have made that the gargantuan, I would have given up my entire inventory for it.
Yeah.
But this, like,
It does have an upside, though, I promise. If you
It-
scroll out about like 9 times, so just before you can see like the bottom of the map, kind of looking dead on, and then you move your camera all the way down.
not, And it flies too, right?
It does, yes. Just not in the event world.
Oh, I don't know if I could take you guys out with me.
Oh, we gotta follow you. Yeah, so she flies.
Can you ride it while I'm flying?
Yes. Yep. I was taking people for rides in the plaza when I first hatched it.
Oh, that's all. Oh, it what? It. Oh my god. The wings flap.
Yeah.
Hold on. This needs to be full graphic quality.
Yes. I just turned mine up too because I just saw blue.
Okay, I didn't know the wings flapped.
Yeah.
And I've been waiting for them to make the Neon Agony fly, and I was really hoping they would make the wings flap. And
yeah, it's such a derpy pet. I love it.
okay, now that the wings flap, I want it now.
Right.
That's awesome. All right, let's go back to the event. I'll trade it to my wife.
I did have to grab a normal one in the trade for it.
Oh, okay. That's good.
So I do have a normal one, just to solidify having one because I needed something in my life. I can always put down rainbow flags and feel a little bit better about my decisions.
At least you got one. You know.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
It's not the one, but it's one.
True.
I'm going to trade it to my wife, and she'll trade it back to you.
You're fine. All good. Yeah. So there's that. Fun fact though. So I just hit level 99 overnight with it. And where? Oh, the other one. It's in daycare. That's what's going on. Yeah. Imagine putting a gargantuan in daycare. Ooh.
How much does that make?
A level 99 normal one in daycare makes 100 million a day.
How much?
100 million?
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
100 million a day?
100 million a day. So 3 billion a month.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, that's at the 30-day time set,
So,
I think.
last night, I actually because I'm a big games tester, and I put in a suggestion in the testing server where for the players that need to get a pet out, have a Robux option to remove the pet from the daycare. So
I like that option.
I was just thinking, what if you just came up, someone just gave you an insane offer on that gargantuan and it's stuck in the daycare?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, yeah, I did make that suggestion. So
that's a really good one. I've been thinking about kind of like the same level of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And of course.
Let me guess, she wants you to sign something.
No, she just said thank you. If she wants anything signed, more than welcome to. I'm sitting on a few pens.
Yeah, I got 357 pens.
Oh, you got me beat. I've been doing a thing where I've been rewarding the people that are more loyal to the community.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll still pick and choose around Twitter now and then. Also, I'm gonna be that controversial person right now. It'll always be known as Twitter. That's as controversial as I'm gonna get, though.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to call it X.
I know, right?
Like whenever I call it X, I'm like, that's weird.
Yeah. I'm sitting on 197 pens, but due to recent events, I don't know if you saw that or not, but like I ended up turning off like all my DMs, all my stuff. Like there was some stuff happening and people were not being nice. Mm-hmm. And it got to be a little bit overwhelming, especially with dealing with everything else. So I kind of backed away a little bit and closed down. But I've been trying to open back up a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the way I sign pets is it's got to be friends or loyal members of the community. I don't sign for anybody else. I get bombarded with DMs on Discord, comments on Twitter, messages in game, people mailing me stuff saying, "Can you sign this?" It's
Oh
just
yeah.
it's like
I would say if it's not
constantly like that.
please pet or give huge, it's please sing, please sing.
So constantly people asking me to sign their pets. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sign because the whole thing is, most of the time someone is trying to get a pet signed so they could go make a few million more off of their pet.
Yep. That's
So,
exactly right. And it's funny that you say that because just in last night's live stream, somebody that had won a few previously, because I like to do, I do a lot of, well, streaming is kind of where my background, where I came from.
yeah.
I've only been recently doing more videos.
Hmm.
Um, I'm not great at videos because I feel like I critique myself way too much, and
Hmm.
instead of like looking at myself as like, oh, that's pretty funny, like I look at it and I'm just like, wow, I look really stupid here doing this. So I try to get like third parties to watch and like critique the videos and stuff before I post them. For the most part, if I have the time, um, before I post it, because they're like, you should have left this in, this in. And okay,
Yeah,
I don't know where I was going with this.
I completely understand about posting long form videos. Um, there's a lot of times where I've made videos and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not posting that.
Yeah,
I have so many videos on my computer, like probably 500 gigabytes worth of videos that are recorded, ready for editing, and they're probably never going to get edited.
yeah. So my biggest thing along the same lines was I would record something and then I wouldn't want to edit it because it was like, all right, I just did this, I just watched it, and I'm gonna watch it back and try to make this funny or whatever else.
Hmm.
But I've been also enjoying editing a little bit more now that I have decent software.
Yeah. What do you
um,
use?
I use Movavi Video Editor. 2025, I think, is the current one.
I haven't heard
It
of
might
that
be
one.
sweet. I don't remember offhand.
Yeah, I use DaVinci Resolve.
See, I've heard good things about DaVinci, and it looked kind of complicated, and it scared me away before I even made it there.
It's actually, once you get used to it, it's pretty easy. I tried doing the Adobe, and once
Yeah,
I got on there, I'm like, yeah, let's go back to DaVinci.
yeah. So Adobe is a company that I don't ever foresee myself working with
Hmm.
after some shady business practices.
Hmm.
Uh, let's just say little Trev that just came fresh out of high school that has like little no money was like, I'm gonna make YouTube big and I'm gonna get Photoshop and Creative Cloud and all this other stuff.
Hmm.
And uh,
They took all
well,
your money.
they took all my money, and then they, to cancel my subscription, they wanted to charge me like $500 or something. And I was like, no, I can't afford that.
They actually did the same thing with me. I was paying for the monthly version a
Yep,
while back, that when I actually did it, and they wanted me to pay to cancel, and I'm like, pay to cancel? What do you
that's what I
mean?
said.
What is that even legal? Pay to
Yeah.
cancel? And so, um, I actually used a PayPal card
Okay.
for it, so I just got a new PayPal card.
There you go. That's as easy it is.
There you go. I didn't have to pay to cancel, and it canceled on its own.
Yeah. I went through like 6 support reps before someone was like, this is actually really dumb policy, and I'm just gonna go ahead and push it through for bugs or whatever. And I was like, okay, cool, thanks. I was like, that's the best way that could have ended.
But so to go back to Pet Simulator, when you got partner, you're among one of the first partners in the game. I believe there's about 105, 108 partners, probably more now because of new applications.
Is there really?
Yeah, over a
Holy cow.
hundred partners, and I can't name 20.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know if I could name 10.
what's the experience like during Pet
So,
Simulator? Like the beginning, being a partner. What was it like? What were you able to do?
I got a cool hoverboard. That was basically it.
That's it? Just a hoverboard?
I think it was just a hoverboard back in the day. Uh, was there even hoverboards back then? Yeah, there wasn't much when Partner first came out, besides for like the little chat tag,
Hmm.
um, like solidifying, like, "Hey, you're a partner," which is also it's a blessing and a curse, right?
Hmm.
Because people see that and they're like, "Well, he's one of three things. He's either a partner, he's not a partner, or he's just a full-on scammer trying to get us to be." And I was just like, "Come on, man! Like I'm live right now. Like you can go and check. And yeah, so that was like during my big boost. I went from like 3K to like 11K in like a month.
Hmm. What are you
Um,
at now?
like 18.3
Okay.
ish.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's a journey.
It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of
It
work.
does.
You know, if you
And
one
it's
day have that one hit video, like let's say this gargantuan trade video that you were talking about, sadly you
yeah,
lost footage, but you know, that right there could be your biggest hit, and then you go from 18,000 to 75,000 in a week.
yeah. I'd say the hatch video did very well. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
almost a 30K.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that did about 600 subs. So that was
That's
it
good.
was nice to see the green graph again
Yeah.
after seeing the red graph for so long. Because when obviously when all the, like the health issues and stuff like really started hitting, and not being able to move around, getting to and from the computer was just not an option. So
Mm-hmm.
on my good days, I might have done a short stream or a little video here and there, but it wasn't nearly as often as I used to.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think that's like my second or third best video right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I was proud of it.
On Block's family, our best video is Escape from Peppa's Pizzeria, something
Okay.
like that. It's
Yeah.
it's
How well did that one do? If you don't mind me
20
asking.
20,000 views.
Nice.
Yeah, and it was a video with my daughter Alaska,
Okay.
and I, of all the videos we've put out, I would have never guessed that would have been the best, most viewed video.
See, and that's the thing, right? So I can put like 12 hours into a video and I can
Hmm.
think that it's the like chef's kiss, like absolute perfection, and it'll flop.
Hmm.
But I can put together something in like 20 minutes and be like, well, I don't feel good about this, and it'll do, a couple thousand views. And it's like, how in the
Yeah, there's videos I'll put. I would pay an editor, pay $80 to edit the video, $30 for the thumbnail, and then put out the video, and it's got 300 views. And then a video that I barely edited and go and put out, and boom, 20,000 views.
yeah,
It's with the whole
it's
YouTube thing, I think it's like timing. Like if you time a certain video, it'll do good. If you're just putting out random videos, most of the time they won't do good.
yeah,
And that video probably was just perfectly timed. People were watching videos on something pizzeria,
yeah.
and I just timed it perfectly. And you know, it also comes down to it comes down to timing, trending, and thumbnail. Those are the number one three things you got to do. From what I'm learning with talking to YouTubers,
Yeah. I was gonna say
timing, trending, and thumbnail.
don't ask me about about any of that because if you're willing to share any information, I'm more than willing to listen. I mean, I've been listening to some of the other podcasts.
Yeah, the
Um,
Numerous, the
yep.
Night Fox, and I believe D Field talked about it a little bit as well. Like
Okay,
those
I haven't gotten
three
to the
would be
D
the
field one yet.
most informative on YouTube. Oh,
Yeah.
D Field, it's a full on career for him when it comes to like YouTube and all that. Like he has
Is it really?
Yeah, he has a company that does stuff with YouTubers,
Oh,
and
nice.
yeah, I don't know if it's his company. I know he works with a company.
Okay.
Bat told me he owns it, I think,
Okay.
but I believe he owns it. I don't know, but he's like all in everything YouTube and Night Fox numerous. They know everything about the analytics. They know everything about everything. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy. Oh, Shy BRB, that him as well. Shy BRB
Okay.
also talked a lot about YouTube and all the stuff behind the scenes. Like me, I make a video that I want to make. I put it online. If it does good, it does good. If it does bad, it does bad. But at least I got a video
Exactly.
on. That's how I am. And
That's how I feel too.
these podcasts have been doing pretty well. If you go back and look at all my episodes, you know, the only one that's over 1,000 is Nixie and Night Fox. The rest, you know, around 300, 400. But to me, that's really good.
Oh,
With
for
my
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, for my experience with Blox Family, the original channel, you know, some videos get 100, 150, 200. If we get lucky, we'll get over 1,000 for a few of the videos, but never do we get videos like constantly 300 views or more. And plus the watch time hours. The watch time hours are insane with this channel compared to the Blox Family channel because, you know, these
Oh, for
are
sure.
these are an hour and a half to 2 hours long. A lot of people actually listen throughout the entire episode.
Yeah, it's definitely nice to be able to, because I've done it too, right? So like, I'll throw on a pair of earbuds and I'll be just doing stuff and I'll just be listening.
Hmm.
Um, well, first of all, you have a just a great voice. Like it,
Thank you.
I'm trying. I'm sorry, not trying to make it weird, but like it's a very unique voice, and it's like it almost feels like it's built for podcasting.
I keep
Sorry.
being told that I should do either late night radio or reading uh, children books, audio books.
Yeah, I can see that. um,
But yeah,
but yeah,
I
overall,
do
I
get
mean,
that
very
that comment
informative.
a lot.
Okay.
Go ahead, sorry, cutting you off.
No, you're good. Sorry, I just kept talking. Um, no, overall, I mean, it's very nice and informative, and I think that's what kind of sparked me being like, hey, I would be more than happy to come and try this out and do this.
Hmm.
It gives the background, it gives more personable feel to
Hmm.
the conversations with people, and it really is. It's just really nice to learn about the person that's not behind the picture kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, you get you're like a fly on the wall in their real life.
Definitely, yeah.
And
So,
that's really what I wanted this to be. I didn't want, like, let's say I a lot of people want me to bring Gravy Cat on.
okay,
And the reason I have not asked Gravy Cat is because I don't think Gravy Cat wants his real voice out there.
okay,
And what I want is when someone comes on, I want them on. I don't want their character on.
right, their persona.
Yeah. So if I was to invite Gravy Cat on, I want like not Gravy Cat, but the person behind Gravy Cat. I want his real voice, and I want to learn about him. I want him to be himself. And you know,
Right.
I send out this message to everybody, every guest I bring on: just be yourself. Don't be in character, and let's learn about the actual person rather than just listening to another video of that character.
Yeah. Don't make me break out the voices. No, just kidding.
So I would love to have Gravy Cat on. I absolutely would, but it would have to be without the voice changer.
Yeah.
Sorry, Gravy.
Yeah.
But
Overall, very informative, very personable, and it just nice to get that inside look.
yeah, and also getting into with talks with like developers. Like I did one with Isaac, and I got another one lined up just waiting for the date because they're very busy. Developers are very busy. They don't get enough credit as they should.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah. And I got one developer and I got someone else really big that we are planning right now that everybody knows. And I'm not going to spoil it, but it's going to be a big one.
Can you spoil it after the call?
Maybe I'll give you a hint.
Ooh, I like hints. I like puzzles.
But yeah, I got a lineup of some pretty interesting people. I'm talking to the biggest and I'm talking to the smallest, and it doesn't really matter like the size of their audience. It just matters like how interesting they are and how like interesting I find them. And
Gotcha.
so that's pretty much how I've built this whole thing. Is I want to talk to people I find interesting, and I like if there's something about them I want to know more about, I'll bring them on. If it's someone that there are some very full of themselves YouTubers and developers,
Really?
I most likely won't invite them on.
I mean, that makes complete sense. I agree.
The audience might want them on, but me personally I don't want them on.
Right.
Because if I can't sit and just talk to them over text or just chatting with them without the podcast, if I don't have any interest in that, I don't know if I'll be able to force a podcast with them.
Right.
But I don't know.
Don't worry. I'll keep signing over stuff to keep that that conversation going.
But I don't know.
No, I won't do that.
My wife really wants me to bring everyone on. She tells me the way that I see it is holding the podcast back and just bring everyone on. And, it's kind of going against my values. Maybe I'll bring some of them on. I don't know. It depends on just how I'm feeling that day, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I see both. I like to look at, kind of stand on that line and look at both sides.
Devil's advocate.
Definitely. Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, coming from your side, obviously you have a vision for it, and I mean, you're doing the brunt of the work here. Maybe that's incorrect, but I mean, just sitting here, you know what I'm saying? From what I can see here, right? Like, just sitting here and just having the conversation, having to work through the whole podcast compared to, like, not having interest in it, right? Because you can definitely tell, and there are times where like I have had streams where I'm completely uninterested in the game. I was just doing it because of schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are streams where it's impromptu and I am just having the most fun, and you can just see the difference.
Yeah.
You can hear the difference, you can see the difference, and I think that makes the world of difference on, what episode are they going to see first? And is that going to lock them into watching more episodes, or is that going to not lock them in?
Yeah.
Is that going to
exactly
put a bitter taste in their mouth for the rest of the channel in general?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's probably one of the reasons why I have like 500 gigabytes of videos that aren't edited, is because, you could tell, like, I don't even have to watch the videos. I already know everybody will be able to tell that I did not want to do this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of videos I have recorded with the kids that aren't edited, that the kids aren't interested. And, halfway through playing the game, they're like, can we just pick a new game for a video?
Yeah.
So, I completely understand that. And it's, in my opinion, it's not good to put out videos like that.
No. I mean, they're definitely going through it, and, you have, again, playing that devil's advocate, you got both sides of the thing, right? Whether it's, do you stick to schedule? Is schedule matter more than the quality and the stuff of the content, or does the quality matter more but off schedule? It's all a big mental game for me anyways. I look at it and it's just like, all right, I'm posting here, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and these are the results, and they look pretty darn similar, or this one did really well. I try to re-imitate it, and it just flops, and it's like, well, I'm just gonna do what I have fun with, and that's basically what it comes down to. Just what you enjoy, and I mean, if I talked to Night Fox a little bit about it, but like, it depends on what you're looking to do in general. If you're looking to have fun and as a hobby, do what makes you happy.
Yeah.
If you're looking to do it for business, double down and go hard on it.
Yeah, and that's what I hear a lot about being successful on YouTube. Even if you don't want to do it, do it.
Yeah.
And that's one thing with Night Fox with that I'm not doing this update video for the Valentine's Part 2. He actually said he's not going to be making a video, but he did make a video. Pretty sure he said on Twitter, I'm not making a video of this. But,
Yeah.
I watched that video and that update. I didn't even play Part 2 of the Valentine's Day update. Rebirth, in my opinion, should not be in a game.
It's a big cop out.
Rebirthing.
I'm right there with you.
It's nobody likes it. There is not a single person that I know that says I love rebirthing. It's not enjoyable.
No. To an extent I could see, right? So like, oh, you can rebirth 10 times, kind of like they have in the overworld. Go back and kind of replay content.
Yeah.
I can see it a little bit like that, but to have it be where you just sit there and obviously break things, rebirth, there just wasn't any like meat to the update,
Yeah.
And as people that like create content, when there's not any meat, well, what are you to report on, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, I can show you what enchants that I use and kind of like the tiny task click scenario or moving around to break stuff, but like that you just took like something that potentially was gonna be like this big video, and like for Night Fox example, right? Like I think he could post a video of him eating a bowl of cereal and it would do good, but like but for like the people that are still trying to like make it to that level, not having anything to report on besides going like, I'm just gonna take my video from last week, I'm gonna say, oh, now we have this rebirth machine. It doesn't help for the content and the schedule.
Yeah. Yeah, and Night Fox, he's been doubling down on videos lately. Like,
oh, for sure.
I'm used to Night Fox videos once a week, and now we're getting like
almost daily,
3, 4, 5 videos a week. And then March 1st, his family channel's coming out, and he's already got 3 videos for that recorded. And,
really?
Yeah, and he just out of nowhere, he just changed up his entire editing team, thumbnail, everything. Changed everything out and just boom, just putting in all the work.
Yeah, and I mean, more power to him. And I'm obviously I've seen him since he was not like this massive channel. And I'm super proud of what he's done and where he's gone and what he's turned into, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And obviously I wish him the best on everything. I just wish that he would share. Not necessarily like just like tips and tricks, right? So he's been giving me a little bit more feedback on like the Twitter side of things, but I would be willing to sit down and just have like a 3-hour sesh of just going over like what's good, what's not good, like what I need to do. But at the same time, I also don't watch a lot of other creators' content, specifically because of the fact that I made the like your pinned Twitter video or whatever, and it had some similarities to Night Fox's video, and I got absolutely decimated for it. I was like, there's comments that were like, bro's trying to be Night Fox. He's like, he's going to be someplace in 3 years. I was like, you realize I've been doing this for almost 10 years, right? Like, come on. Yeah, so it would just be nice to kind of get into the meat of it and kind of learn more that way,
Hmm.
because there's so much misinformation out on the internet about what works, what doesn't work. Um, and obviously, I don't want to like. My last intention is to rip off anybody else's content. Is kind of goes back to the whole like I try not to watch other people's videos until at least I have mine done.
Yeah.
But even then, I still don't watch a lot of Roblox stuff in general either.
Yeah, me either. Whenever I see a Night Fox video, I'll watch that. If I see an LCLC video, I'll watch that. But overall, I'm not really watching anything Pet Simulator or
Right.
Roblox in general. I mainly just watch the things that interest me that aren't Roblox related.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, and I feel the same way. Um, I'm not gonna lie. I watch a competitive eater. He posts every Sunday, and he goes around the world and he does these crazy food eating challenges. And he got me so hyped up one day. I went down to Milwaukee Burger and I was like, I'm taking on this like 5-pound burger. Yeah, that didn't end well. I was so sick.
Yeah, I saw this one video once. I think Matt Stoney or something. He ate like 200 wings, and I'm like, I think I could do 200 wings. I made it to 20.
Yeah. Watching these guys and like their superhuman ability to just eat food is crazy.
Yeah. So one thing I did want to ask you to get
Yes.
back on the pet simulator conversation. Um, what is your thoughts about this current update and this current battle?
So okay.
A lot of people have very, very mixed feelings about it.
So there's a couple things to it, right? And I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. I'm gonna play both sides of that coin. I like it for the aspect of collecting.
Yes.
I like the aspect of TCG.
Mm-hmm.
I play literally a game on Steam called TCG Card Shop Simulator, where I run my own TCG card shop as I disconnect again. um, Overall, I like the update for that, and it kind of takes me back to childhood where I was ripping like Pokemon packs and Yu-Gi-Oh packs and stuff like that. Gives me that sense of nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, it's another combination event disguised with trading cards.
Yeah.
So, do I feel it's very pay to win? Yes. I mean, there's not many updates that I don't think that about.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, again, I like to play that devil's advocate card, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where I like to look at it from the standpoint of the developers. They obviously want to make their money. They need to also provide for their families and stuff. Yes, I know they make a lot of money, especially on plushies.
Yeah.
But I mean, just in general too, right? Like, I also like to look at it from the standpoint of like the normal player, because I run a lot of accounts. I run 11 accounts 24/7 essentially. They're not all pay to win accounts. I would say about half of them are. Are they all game passed out? No. They just have certain ones that I think are worth it, like super drops and things like that. But as far as Pet Simulator in general goes, I enjoy the game. It is I like the challenge of it. I don't like the fact that, and I kind of gave up hope on indexing everything. It just will never happen.
Yeah.
So I wish that there was, because I got like this drive, this fire inside of me that wants to 100% everything. Like I tortured myself through the game called Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've ever heard about that game.
I know it.
You have?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I climbed that mountain 50 times.
I hate that
I have
game.
that. I got that golden pot.
Yeah, I didn't get too far. I
Yeah,
I got my money back. I got a refund.
that's fair. Um, it took me 15 hours that first run, and I cried profusely after
Wow.
I finished it. And then
Wow.
my best run was like 7 minutes.
Wow. I only
So
know how it took me 7 minutes to get up that first rock.
yeah, yeah. So I I'd like to think of myself as somebody that has a lot of patience.
Yeah.
Obviously, when there was doing like at the end of PSX, there was a lot of like DMs, like all the talks about like the DMCA and cube pets and what can be DMCA and what can't be. And I kind of started withdrawing myself then,
Mm-hmm.
and then obviously all the health stuff hit between the games.
Yeah.
And well, I don't know if you know this or not, but Preston kind of yoinked my partner there for a while.
Really?
Well, yeah, well, Nixie was gone because he went in and he was like, "Oh, these people aren't active. These aren't active." And yeah, I got my partner yoinked.
Oh no.
Um,
I wonder if he'll do the same for me since he doesn't know about the podcast. Actually, he does know about the podcast.
oh, are you gonna have him on?
I'm trying. I'm really
That'd be cool.
trying, but he does know about the podcast.
Okay, good. Um, but yeah, I mean, got it settled out. Fortunately enough, and fun fact enough, I don't like to trash talk anybody. That's not where I come from. Obviously, the way I was raised was always hold doors, be respectful, treat people how you want to be treated, kind of thing.
Yep.
Um, and it's paid off this far, and I don't see any reason why anybody shouldn't do that kind of
Mm-hmm.
stuff. But Nixie came in clutch with everything, and
Yeah, she's awesome.
yeah, Nixie is the only person like big game side of things. Besides, I think China, she's one of the mods as well.
Mm-hmm.
Chino was back in the day too. Also, would join in live streams and would just sit there and constantly ban people as I was playing Big Paintball because obviously people just wanted to ruin streams and troll.
Yep.
But yeah, there's just a whole mess of stuff, and yeah, just Nixie always has pulled through. And so when I saw that like we can learn more about Nixie and her background through the pod, that was the first one I watched, and it was very inspirational to see kind of the inner workings and who Nixie is as a person, rather than just like me walking up to Nixie as this like little person, and I'm just sitting here and thinking that she's like this big judge behind a desk kind of thing, you know?
No, everybody that has been on the podcast so far is just a normal person, just like you and I.
Exactly.
We're all just normal people. We just think higher of them because they're a personality on a game, on YouTube, and a lot of people know them. But in reality, everybody's just a normal person that you will most likely just walk by one day and not think anything of it.
Yeah.
And when I first got into YouTube and everything, excuse me, when I first started the whole Blox family thing, like Ted Teddy was the first big YouTuber I spoke to. And I'm like, oh my God, this dude is huge. And then, talking to him and having multiple voice chats with him, I'm just like, he's just a normal dude. He's cool. And then, like, I went from, excuse me, I went from thinking, like, these YouTubers are all gods to just another person.
Yeah.
And that's how I really see all these YouTubers now. Just other people. They're normal people, and this is their job, and they're really good at it. And like, I would have normally, if I had never really been interacting with YouTubers before, that podcast with Night Fox, I probably would have been like sweating in my palms and just really nervous, not really talking, just like, yeah, just talk. I want to hear your voice.
Yeah.
But, after realizing that all these YouTubers and partners, all these famous people, they're just normal humans like the rest of us, it's a lot easier to get on this podcast and talk to them like a normal conversation, and
Oh, 100%.
so that's why that conversation with Night Fox was so easy for me to do, is because I see Night Fox as a normal person, and
Yeah.
he's not a god on the pedestal.
Right.
But one to go back to the clan battle,
Yes.
I one thing I wanted to say I've been thinking about lately is, imagine if they made a clan battle for hatching huges.
Okay.
And so you could go and hatch active huges, or you could buy exclusive eggs and hatch huges.
Okay.
Everybody would lose their minds over that. This is the same exact thing. You
Yeah.
could use the free to play packs like I am right now during this entire episode, or I could go buy the exclusive packs and get a ton of points. It's the
Yeah.
same concept.
Realistically, yeah, it is the same concept.
Either hatch the free to play eggs and hatch active huges, which will take forever. I haven't gotten a single huge card out of the thousands of free to play I've opened.
Same.
And I've only opened, I think, 11 or 12 of the pay to win. I got 1 Titanic and 3 huges.
Really?
Yeah.
I opened 10 and I didn't get nothing. I was like, I'm selling these.
Yeah, 1 Titanic, 3 huges.
That's crazy.
So,
I mean, right there, you paid for all your packs.
yeah, definitely. But
That
it's the same exact thing. And
it is.
it's crazy.
It would also be kind of cool to see. Well, I can't even say that because that would also be really pay to win then. But like people that hold exclusive eggs, like maybe older eggs would be worth a little bit more,
Mm-hmm.
but that would also not be necessarily as fair.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there's people out there that are just absolutely hoarding eggs too.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I know one person. He has hundreds of eggs from many updates ago, even from PSX.
Really,
Yeah,
I've
just
got
holding on
a
to them.
small box. I think it's kind of want to check now. I got a rainy day box that's got 48 in them,
Mm-hmm.
and because I don't ever buy them, right?
Yeah.
I'll open the ones that they give me. I'll sign some stuff. I'll throw them up. Otherwise, I'll give them away here and there in giveaways, whether that be on Twitter or in the live stream. I just enjoy doing them more in the live stream, just because it's the people that are always there and support you.
Yeah.
But I do have a collection box of. I got active eggs, cools, bejeweled, black holes, blazing. I guess there's a chat in here, and it should not be in here. That thing's gotta go away. Some classics: Flex, Googlies, Jurassics, Matrushka eggs, Sketch, Snow Globe. I mean, basically, I try to keep about 3 from each update, and those are typically ones that if I dip my fingers into that Forever Pack, which is never a good idea. I'll keep some of those, but for the most part, I don't open a lot of stuff
Yeah.
just because I've seen. I mean, it took me like almost 5,000 eggs to open that gargantuan.
Mm-hmm.
And I did the math on that, and I
Wait,
was like,
5,000 eggs?
it not just of that egg. I'm sorry.
Oh,
In total.
okay.
Yeah, no, I didn't open 5,000 eggs. That would have been crazy.
How many eggs in total just for the gargantuan? Just for that egg?
That was just 200. That was the 200 that I was given.
That was the partner eggs?
That was the partner eggs.
Scam.
And now people are going to be like, partner luck is real.
Scam. Scam. I'm filing a lawsuit today.
You're going to take my gargantuan away. That's the only thing that comes out of the lawsuit.
No, I need a rainbow shiny now. I don't want.
Yeah.
I'm suing for a rainbow shiny.
Yeah. So I opened. Don't get me wrong. I opened some on my own here and there. Typically ones I get out of the Forever Pack. I've only ever once gone fully in
Mm.
to the eggs, and that was the first like where you got the silver dragon.
Yeah.
I went pretty hard into those. I think I opened 400 of those. Um,
I opened about
but it's
200 for that clan battle.
oh wow. Um, but it's a lot of people, they see you as a personality on YouTube and they go, "Hey, this guy's rich."
Yeah.
And in reality, if you would look at my IRL finances between the medications and stuff, I couldn't even move out if I wanted to. like I live on the little bit here and there being able to go and splurge.
Yeah.
So I'm very lucky to be in a position where I'm able to stay with my family
Mm.
and they're able to help me. Obviously, you still split bills and all that other stuff, but in general, it just gives us all the sense of like, hey, if you need something, I'm here. If you need something, I'm there. Um, and then it keeps the cost down for
Yeah.
everybody.
And that right there is another thing is a lot of people, they see YouTubers, and if someone's got a decent amount of subscribers, they're like, yep, that person's rich.
Yeah.
And they also think to themselves, I could never do that. That's not something I could ever do. You know,
And see, that's
anybody,
the complete opposite.
yeah,
Anybody can do that.
anybody, as long as you're consistent and you enjoy doing it and you love doing it, if you're doing it just to, you know, become rich and famous and you don't actually enjoy making videos, you don't enjoy editing, you don't enjoy any of that, you're not going to make it. But
No.
if you love it and you desire it and really want it, you'll make it. Like me, I went to college for game development and I dropped out 2 months later because
Did you really?
I started my own business.
Really?
Yeah. So I own a company that fixes wheels for car dealerships for
Oh,
used
that's
cars.
cool.
Yeah. So I dropped out to start a business that, I don't really enjoy. And I left college for something I do enjoy. I love video games. I love coming up with ideas for video games. You guys always see me on Twitter, always posting
Oh, for sure.
suggestions for Pet Simulator. And, most of my ideas are pretty good. I've been giving a lot of ideas in the test chat. And, but now I'm one day I came up with a really, really good idea for a game, and I hit up a few developers, and now I'm making my own game, and we're months away from releasing it after working on it for almost 2 years.
I'm super excited for that, by the way. I know that you keep, not keep necessarily, but like you mentioned it every here and there,
Hmm.
especially in the pod, and I'm just like, I am so excited to see this. I'm not going to be able to play on my main because he's just locked in Pet Sim like 24/7. But
Yeah, you're definitely going to need to
I'm
make an
actually
alt for
super
this
excited.
game.
Come on, Brummel. You know how many alts I have? It's hard to manage them all.
The reason I say that is because I'm going to have to make an alt for this game because I'm still going to want to keep my main account in Pet Simulator,
Yeah,
but I'm going to have a account to play this game that we're making because just everything about it is just like everything I enjoy, everything I love, everything I want in a game. And honestly, the game is in a position where I can't tell you what genre it is because
yeah.
I
I
don't
I
know.
heard you say that a couple times, and that honestly just it piques my interest a little bit more because
Mm,
Roblox seems like it's become like three things, right? You
mm,
have your simulators, you have your tycoons, and you have your kind of like puzzle games
yep.
or like mini games, technically, if you want to
Hmm.
call them that. Um, I
And
really love
RNG
the
games.
events, RNGs, yes. Um, like I really loved when they did the like Ready Player One event.
Hmm.
Like I was within like grasp of that dominance. Like I streamed for so many hours when that was out. Like, yeah, it was crazy.
Is it kind of like The Hunt where you play a bunch of different games?
So it was, yes, except for it was like, I don't know if you ever like have you I'm assuming you've never seen the movie or read the book on Ready Player One?
May have. I'm not good with
Okay.
movie titles.
Gotcha. So essentially it was like they're the head developer or like owner of this like VR kind of thing hid keys throughout his games,
Hmm.
and you had to go and find all the keys to unlock, and then like when you unlocked and found all the keys, you became the new owner, and only one person could become the owner
Yeah.
of the like this virtual world essentially that was like everything.
Is it with
um,
Ryan Reynolds?
I don't believe Ryan Reynolds was in it, but I could be super wrong. It was. I'm not 100% for sure if I'm being honest. Um, but yeah, so it was like go into these games, and they didn't tell you what games the keys were hidden in.
Hmm.
So I think the first one was hidden in Jailbreak, and you had to rob the train and then go talk to these hidden people behind a waterfall. And then the second one, like the clues led you over to this other like zombie apocalypse game. Actually, it teleported you once you got the key or something. And then you essentially just like kept jumping through, and it was just this massive hunt for this one thing. And actually, fun fact enough, the wings on my back, my character are, I think they were given, the golden ones were given out to the first 10,000 people that completed it, and number one person got like the golden Dominus. But I think that's what kind of makes my character unique too. Is like the horns too are also like 1 in 10,000 kind of thing. Like you had to do these events, and
Hmm.
so like mix match them. It helps. It might be a weird avatar, but it also keeps people from like impersonating too.
Hmm. And when did this movie come out?
Oh, that's a
That way I
great
could
question.
that way I could check it out. It seems like this Ryan Reynolds movie that I watched where he went into a game. No, he was a character in a game, I think, and then he started
Oh
realizing
yes,
everything
I
was.
know which one you're talking about. So this one was released in 2018.
Hmm.
March of 2018. The one that you're thinking of, was it just called Guy? No, his
Yes.
name was Guy.
Yeah. His name was Guy, and he realized that he was like in a virtual reality.
Yeah, that was called Free Guy.
Free Guy. Okay. So
Not the
yeah,
same one, but yeah.
I haven't watched this Ready Player One game or movie, so I'm gonna have to check it out.
I would highly recommend. It was honestly, I never knew it existed until that Roblox event like
Hmm.
came out, and I think that was like, that was years afterwards, I think,
Hmm.
but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I always like when they come out with game movies, like involving video games, like Pixels with Adam Sandler. Um, the Free Guy. There's that movie. I think it came out in the early 2010s or late 2000s. I think it's called Gamer.
Okay.
Where the kid he gets in a like a pod or something, and he controls a prisoner, and he has to win the tournament, and that prisoner will be set free. And that was
Gotcha.
that's a rated R movie though. It's not a kids movie, but
Oh, okay.
there was a lot of blood and gore in that movie. But it was awesome. It was awesome. And Twisted Metal, the Twisted Metal series on, I believe, Amazon. They came out with the Halo series as well. You know, whenever they
Okay.
come out with these series and these movies, it's really, really entertaining. The Last of Us, that was awesome. Have you
Last
seen
of
The
Us.
Last of Us?
I
It's
don't think I have.
um. Do you know The Last of Us, the game?
I don't even know the game, if I'm being
Really?
honest with you.
Do you have a PlayStation?
I do have a PlayStation. It's a fun fact that you say that, because just a few years ago, when I had started working my current job,
Hmm.
uh, I had started making a lot more than I was at my previous one, and I was able to splurge a little bit
Hmm.
on some game consoles, but PC has kind of been my home. But every once in a while, I'll pick up a controller.
Yeah,
I can definitely feel I'm definitely way out of touch with it when my fingers start to cramp.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, The Last of Us is a hit game on PlayStation. It's like one of the top games. People love it. It's an awesome game. I played it. And they came out with a series about it. And it mimics the game. Like, the beginning of the show is the beginning of the game. What happens in the show happened in the game. And they did it really well. Show's awesome.
See, I love that.
Yeah, when they stay true to the story.
Exactly.
Whenever they come out with something where they don't stay true to it, it's just like,
Yeah.
I wish somebody else made this movie.
Oh, for sure.
But, all right, dude. So, go ahead.
Sorry,
Go
ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say one of my favorites, and kind of like loop all the way back to the beginning a little bit too.
Okay.
Because you said you started up from RuneScape.
Yes.
Your RuneScape, I presume, is kind of like where I got my Warcraft addiction. Because I was big into like the Warcraft scene for a while, but like also I've like get close and kind of tie it up to is the game that got you into gaming. That's my question for you.
The game that got me into gaming?
Yeah, like what sparked your gaming adventure? What game was one of those first games that made you think this is a game, like this game is so great, like I love video games?
SOCOM 2 on PlayStation 2.
SOCOM 2.
SOCOM US Navy SEALs. That was the first game that I really dove into and could not put down. I absolutely love that game. Every year I'm going on Google, are they making a new SOCOM? Are they going to make a remake? I'm always checking, and they're always talking about they're making a SOCOM 2 remake, but they never do. But SOCOM 2, the original SOCOM, when it came out on the PlayStation 2, that was when it was bundled with the headset and the adapter, so you could actually go online on the PlayStation 2. So that was like the beginning.
Wow.
Of
that's
online
way
gaming.
Back there.
Yeah, that was the beginning of online console gaming, and just the whole experience of going on a game, talking on a headset with people. You know, even though I had a little squeaky kid voice.
I don't know if I can imagine that, but
but that entire experience, just I would stay up all night playing SOCOM. And that, along with RuneScape around the same time as well, just those two games started my entire love for video games. You know, I played video games before, but I'd rather go outside than play video games before. You know, I had the Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo. I had the first PlayStation. Spyro was awesome.
Dude, I was gonna say that right there. Spyro is that game for me. Spyro to me is your SOCOM.
Yeah. So, you know, I would prefer go outside, go to the school, play basketball in the court, play. There was this game we used to play called Suicide. It was like wall ball, but if you throw the ball, if it touches you or if you try catching it but it falls on the ground, someone could pick up the ball and chuck it at you as hard as they can.
Oh boy.
Before you touch the wall. And so I had many bruises, and I've put many bruises on kids, but it was a fun game.
Yeah.
But I always preferred to be outside rather than, you know, when the streetlights came on, I went home. That was the kind of kid I was growing up. But then SOCOM and RuneScape, ever since those came out and I started playing those, that was what kept me inside.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I would say I was about the same, you know, go outside until the streetlights came on. Obviously, until I started developing my issues, then it wasn't as easily accessible to do that. So I kind of turned to video games, and they became more of a choice and a lifestyle.
Yeah.
But I still do enjoy going outside. I like to be in the outdoors, hunt, fish,
Yeah, same for me. Hunting,
all that other
fishing,
fun stuff.
hunting, fishing, trails. I love all that stuff. The outdoors is they're amazing, and not a lot of people appreciate them as much as we should.
Exactly.
But all right, dude. Is there anything you got going on you want to talk about real quick?
Not really. I'm just honestly, I'm here. I do live streams almost daily between the live channel and the main channel now. So those are fun. I definitely feel like I could sit here and talk for another 12 hours. So if it ever comes down the line and you're like, hey, like I've got another opening or another slot, like I'd love to do a part 2.
Yeah, awesome. We'll be down for doing that. I'm doing a part 2 with Nixie soon. So
Okay.
I know you enjoyed that one. So
Very
I'll be
much
doing,
so.
yeah, we talked about doing a part 2. I'm also doing a part 2 with someone else, and that's going to be an exciting one. And so, yeah, there are a few topics we didn't get to talk about. So, yeah, we could definitely do a part 2 down the road, and we'll continue the conversation then.
That sounds like a great plan to me. I just again thank you for having me on. I working around my
No, thank
messed
you.
up schedule the last few weeks.
No, thank you for coming on. I appreciate you taking the time to sit here and talk with me and telling us about everything going on in your life. I hope everything health-wise for you gets better. I hope they could finally cure it for you. And
Fingers crossed. However, I think Big Pharma's kind of stepping on that nail a little bit there, but yeah, eventually the end goal is be something that people can look up to and show be able to show the support to the people that have conditions like this that don't necessarily have the situations that I do per se.
Yeah. And, we could set up that GoFundMe, and I'm pretty sure people will be down to help you go get those stem cells to see if that helps. I think the stem cells will give you a nice boost.
Hey, I'd be down. I just have to figure out who, what, where, when, why, and if that's something that they would be willing to do with everything that I take already.
Do some research on it. On it, and if it's something you want to do, I'll link the GoFundMe to this episode. I'll put it on Twitter, and we'll get you over there and get that treatment done. I think it'll really help you.
Sounds great. I super appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, dude. All right. Thank you again, and I'll see you next time for a part 2.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you again.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.